I'm excited. Happy Sunday night. Happy sports card Wild West marketplace friends, family, collectors, investors, venture hobbyists, everybody out there. Thank you guys for being here. Pittsburgh, thanks for being here tonight. Sunday night on a holiday weekend. Let me tell you guys, I'm exhausted. I've had a great, awesome, wonderful weekend with my kids. They have just abused me. I'm physically exhausted, but I'm super excited to be here tonight. We have a great guest tonight, Pepino Man here tonight, which I'm super excited. This guy's one of the funniest, happiest super collectors I know. I'm looking forward to talking to him. I'm also looking forward to hearing Q&A from the audience out there. I'm going to start by just kind of going over some news, what's happening, videos I've kind of seen in the hobby today, and we'll take from there. Let's see, share my screen, click on this button here, do that one, do this one, and then boom. Okay. Sports Collectors Daily, to be honest, nothing here pretty new today. Nothing. And I also, be honest, I don't like this new format. I don't like this new layout they have here with industry news, business news. I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody here I'm missing, but it just wasn't as welcoming to me as it is before. So I do want to give a shout out because I do watch Collectors Daily every day. The hobby, big fan, want to be a fan here. The Daily Hobby, not updating me the content I need. At least on the top updates. These have kind of stayed static here. I need some updates here. Some better articles down here, but you got to dig. You got to really dig for some of these older stuff. So analytics, how to become a dealer. It just hasn't been the same. So I found some other resources of some articles. Here's a cool article I found. This one was on a new grading technology coming to TC, which is referring to Travis City. It's a small article here talking about card score coming and this card score tool. And I'll be honest, I've and I know I'm digging deep here for like news, right, guys? I have some better news coming. I just want to share this with you. I'm mixed feelings on this. I don't understand why people what people think about card score. I don't see this as being interesting to me. Just because somebody tells you your card has a good grade because they looked at it, does that mean you're more likely to grade it? I don't know. I'm curious what your thoughts are. I've heard these are showing up at stores as well. People are talking about, like I said, that article there was talking about it coming. And I've even seen they're hiring. They're hiring people to go out there and promote card score. It just makes me realize how much money's in the hobby. You know, any idea if they can get enough traction, get enough subscribers, get enough people, it floats. That's kind of what their goal is. Here's an interesting article. This is actually from, I believe it was from earlier in the week, but I read it this weekend about what Fanatics could be doing. And the only thing I'm going to hit on real quickly here is just the fact that Fanatics will probably be a public traded company by the time they take over the sports card industry. And I only say that because as a publicly traded company, a lot of things can happen, right? They could spin off the business. They could invest in the business. A lot of things can happen in that time period. But I just think it's interesting. As a publicly traded company, would you buy Fanatics stock? I guess is the question, right? Like, I think a lot of people went out and bought Topps last spring when they thought Topps was going public, and then Topps stayed flat all summer long. And I kind of was weary about that, right? It went up and went down. And now, would you buy Fanatics? Fanatics, to me, I think is a little bit better investment, growing company, doing really well, not just in sports cards. They're doing so many other things. They're even looking at getting into gambling too. So just thought I'd bring that to your attention. Oh, Groot, why are you barking so loudly? Okay, quickly, a few articles or a few videos that I saw this weekend that really caught my attention. Like I said, I've been really busy. So this one's a great video on PSA's 10,000 PSA 10 Club, which is basically cards that have PSA 10s with over 10,000 pop counts. And look at this. First of all, Zion is number one at 19,000, closing in on 20,000. So just think about that. If he has 20,000 PSA 10s, how many do you think he has total? Acuna, Soto, Morant, Luka, Tatis. I mean, again, coming down the list here, some other interesting ones. Look at this. Glavin Lux, 724. That's how many new ones were added, by the way, in this list. And then the new ones just made the list was Trae Young. Trae Young just joined the 10,000 club with over 10,000 Prism PSA 10s. Wander Franco will be there next, and so will Chrome Tatis cards. It looks like they're closing in next. Now, again, this is interesting data. You do with it as you want to. I'm just wondering, like, are we going to look back? If Zion, let's say Zion becomes LeBron, will his cards have the same value as LeBron's? I can't think they will because there's just so damn many of them compared to LeBron. You know, where's my bad dog who's barking all the time? Okay, so I just thought I'd bring it up. This is from, by the way, from Extreme Card Breaks. Really love that they do this and that they put this video together and they keep track of the top 10,000 PSA 10 Club, which I think, again, great great just kind of metric. We'll have like a dashboard that has it up here. Here's another interesting video I was just listening to tonight. This is from Jets Mamba. Shout out Jets Mamba. Really love your channel. Been following it for off and on. Does a little hustle, does some sports car shows. And I remember he was at the Philly show, and short story here. He bought this auto from somebody, a dealer, bought, trade, something like that with a dealer, sent it off to SGC, came back that it's fake. Okay. Other people warned him that this auto could be fake, that I guess it's Ovation or whatever. People have faked this auto or whatever. So it's fake. And Jets Mambo's like, man, he felt bummed about it. He was disappointed, but he took it on himself. He saw the dealer at another show, and he just let him know, hey, man, I just want you to know the auto you had, was fake. And a short story again, really. The dealer said, look, just take what you want in value from the cards and send me the card back. So Jets Mamba did that. He sent the card back to the dealer, and the dealer gave him whatever the trade value was in the card. So as I'm listening to this story, I'm thinking to myself, you know how Ziggy is. I always like to think, right? Like, do you think the dealer really didn't know that it was fake? Because he seemed all too willing to make that trade right. Like, I guess I'd feel guilty. Like, really, dude, do you have proof of this? Like, I mean, I'd want SGC to send it. I'd also, here's another thing I'd want to know. I'd be like, well, where did I get it from? Well, dude, thanks. Send me the information. Give a track down the person I bought it from. I also wonder, why don't these cards get destroyed? Right? Like what Jets Mamba should say is, yeah, I'm going to shred it, or I'm going to cut it in half and I'll send it to you. But I don't want you reselling it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, this is one of those things in the hobby that kind of worries me, is that A, there's a lot of these fakes out there, right? And B, what happens when these fakes pop up, right? I also, it's interesting too that I want to applaud Jets Mamba, because he suspected there could be problems with the autos, and he had two autos. One was a different product. It wasn't the Ovation or whatever, some other Kobe auto. And he sent them to SGC, and I'm glad he sent them to SGC, right? Or Beckett or PSA, because I don't think some of the other companies authenticate autographs. And I wonder if they would have caught this, right? And I'd also wonder too, like, if you can get information from SGC on what did they find that proves to them this was not authentic? What reason? Like, this is forgery, right? Shouldn't there be a crime filed? Shouldn't you contact the FBI? I don't know. I'm just, this has bothered me more than I guess it was worth. Okay. Next things I want to talk about real quickly. Big week in releases. Prism, women's Prism, WNBA basketball comes out. Now, remember, it was about this time last year that they launched this. And I remember they pre-ordered, or the pre-orders of this stuff back in June of 2020 were like $120 a box. I'm thinking, should I buy a few of these? And I didn't. And I really wish I did, because when they came out, I want to say they were like $240 last year. And this was with the Iowaska chick in there. I'm sorry, lady in there. And she's supposed to be really good, right? But she's in the Jet. She's the Mamba, whatever. So this year's class is coming out. They get, okay, second year Prism women's. That's great. I don't know of anybody that's a star in this. I'm not super excited about the class or anything. What will this be? This can't be as much as last year, right? No, it's more. $320. Holy smokes, Prism. The funny thing is, this has got to be the cheapest Prism hobby box out there, which is that kind of cruel that, they're not treating the women the same as the men. Why don't you just price this at $2,000 a box, Panini? Or I'm sorry, it's not even Panini. It's Blowout. It's Blowout. Let's be honest. It's not Panini's fault. It's the distributors who price this stuff, and then Panini just follows it, right? Like, you'll see Panini's website will be selling this. In fact, if we go right here, right? I don't want to run out of time. I'm going to keep my 10 minutes here. If I go to Panini's website and I go to store and I go to basketball, here's what you guys got to keep your eye on this week. Here's the Prism basketball, right? What will Panini sell this for on their website? Because right now they're watching over here, and they're going to go see, does Blowout sell out or does it not? So if this were to sell out instantly, Panini will be in around 309, 300, 299. If this doesn't sell out and it's still available, Panini will be closer to like 250, a box. It's just something I'm observing. Next up, by the way, I'm not buying that product. I'm just not interested. I would use my money elsewhere. Nothing against WNBA. Just that's not what I'd buy. So Donruss football. I was going to tell the same story here about Donruss football, but apparently I'm already up here showing you the price. $425. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I remember when basketball was, I think, $425, and that was for the Zion year. I thought to myself, that's ridiculous. Who would pay $400 for a box of Donruss? This used to be like $100, $200 product. It really was, because it's really at the cheap beginning of the product line. It's one of, here's why this is going to do so well, though. It's got the rated rookie logos, and it's got all the bells and whistles. You'll have one-on-ones and stuff. I'm sure it'll have amazing chase cards, but just not my thing. I thought about this product, but not for that price. No, $300 maybe $299. I could see buying a hobby box. Even that, I'm getting my tummy hurts because again, I got to get those cards graded. They really see value, and because paper cards anyway. No, not gonna interested. Last one up. I've been tracking this product all freaking spring into the summer. The Metal Universe Hockey apparently comes out this week on the 8th. I don't know the prices of it. I've heard around $350 a box. You have to buy this directly at your hobby store. So I don't know if I'm going to get this. Probably not. I'm getting very tight on the hobby, and I'm starting to think there's just too much printing going on. But that's just me. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about news and notes tonight. I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to switch over, and I'm going to bring in our guest tonight. First of all, let me just quickly say a quick shout out. Thanks, Pittsburgh, for being here. Elliot, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being here, Bob. Thank you for being here. Yes, they will go public. Yeah. Texas Card Dude, thanks for having you on. Okay, let me go ahead and bring on the man of the evening. It is the Popino Man.
What's up?
How are you doing, sir? So tell everybody about yourself. I know my channel doesn't necessarily follow you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know I consider you an OG. You've had a channel for a long, long time. So talk about your collecting and a little bit about your channel.
Well, when it comes to collecting, I guess my main focus would be sets. I collect and made 74 Topps, which is the year I was born.
Very cool.
I wanna collect every set from 74 till now, and I do them by hand. I try not to buy them completed, but during COVID, I told myself, okay, this year I can buy completed sets because it was impossible to find cards like what everybody now refers to in the wild. Like wasn't like before. So it kind of changed my my collecting habits as far as sets. So I bought a few completed sets lately.
I saw those. I saw you got a few of those, and I remember watching that. And I want to say for the audience, this is one thing I think is really cool about that. You do hand collect. In other words, you are going out there, you're buying packs, you're buying in the wild, and you do a lot of trading with people. Like I've seen on your channel recently, you put a list out there, here are the cards I need, and people were sending you cards they needed, and you send cards to people when you have extras. I mean, that's original OG. That's what the hobby was about. That's what internet was about, right?
Yeah. It's taken quite a change. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself an OG on YouTube.
When did you start your channel?
I've been on here 4 years.
That's
I mean,
OG.
but I started my YouTube channel just to watch YouTube. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, like 7, 8 years ago. But as far as when I started to make channels, it took me years to finally start making videos on my own. Where I started making videos, like I watched videos for a long time, and back in the day, 4 years ago, I was asking people like, hey, how do you make videos? But most of these people, I guess, just were making their videos on their computers. So everybody would tell me, oh, you need a computer. And I'd be like, oh, I don't have one. No, you can't make videos then. So for the longest time, I didn't make videos. So one time I hit up Topps 85 401 on Instagram or something else. Like when he put it on his YouTube channel, he told me, oh, you could just use your phone. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, use your phone. And he told me how to do it. And I did it, and then just started making videos ever since.
So you're just using your phone now?
Yeah.
Right. So that's cool. And I'll tell you, it's funny. I'm very low budget with mine as well. I have a junky laptop with a crappy camera, a terrible mic, and that's my laptop I use for my YouTube. And I can use my phone as well, but I'll be honest, I'm fumble with my phone. So, and I do call you OG because to me, anybody before 2018 is OG to this community now, because you have people before then. You're right. They did it more because they were showing their personal breaks or their personal rips, or they're just kind of more collecting. It was like 2018, 19. You had this rush of like, here's how to make money. Here's how to do this. Everything was like my top 5. Everything was just crazy. So before then, it was just very, very conservative. I think it was more friendly. There wasn't investing tips or going on.
Yeah, it's definitely changed. It seemed like back then a lot of it was about care packages and video responses. Like that was really like kind of heavy, like something that was happening a lot. Like that was the trend, but then once COVID hit, the trends just totally changed, and like all these investors and new people came in, people with money. I think a lot of older YouTubers from my generation were kind of more on the cheaper side and not high-end collectors. But all these investors came in during COVID, and they were high end. So I mean, man, they took over the YouTube community, influencer world by storm.
You're
You know,
absolutely right. I mean, I think two things led to that, in my opinion. One is Jeff on Sports Card Investor, because he launched it in 2019. And he, in my opinion, was the first one that said investing, right? Before then, we talked about, hey, I sold this card, made money, but he was the first one that kind of came out and go, I'm going to, profit off the hobby you love. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'll be honest, I was a critic of him in the beginning. And then the second one was Gary Vee, right? Because Gary Vee, when he was home during COVID, it was like, hey, you should get out there and set up a YouTube channel. And again, not most, but probably a majority of the new YouTube channels will admit that they had a link back to Gary Vee in some way. He was one of the reasons they went out and started their channel.
Yeah, I was following. I was in the Facebook group for the Tops 2020 when they came out, and that the Project 2020 that Tops had,
Yep.
and a lot of, and that whole thing to me was almost like a whole lifespan of baseball card collecting, crunch into 1 year. The highs, the ups and downs, the pump and dump.
Yep.
And I remember, like, once the cards started falling down and they were starting to crash, people were saying, "Oh, Gary Vee's gonna make a video talking about Top Project 2020, and he's gonna save us, and like all our cards are gonna go back up, and this and that." And I was like, does everybody really think like one person's opinion is really gonna? And I was kind of scared that it actually would. Like, if he would have came out and said, "Hey, Top 2020 fight," it would have probably exploded again. But he didn't, and it just kept going in the trend that it was going.
Yep.
But yeah,
well, it's funny. You're right. There are two things that came out that time. So around that time, Jeff actually came out and he put a video out critiquing it, criticizing it, right? He said there's no reason you should pay more money for a Trout real rookie than you would for the artist one, right? I think the artist one was worth as much or whatever. He goes, this doesn't make sense. And then like the next day he changes his voice and comes out with this, well, the artist stuff is cool. And that's because I think the artist called him or whatever, and he took some pressure. And then Gary Vee was going to come on a video. And I remember he put a post out saying he was supposed to interview, I want to say Blake Jamieson or whatever. And he decided to not do that because his comment was, I don't want to influence the hobby or something weird, which at that time, it was already over. I'm like, dude, you've already influenced the hobby. Like, are you serious? But those cards were funny because you're right, man. I remember watching videos. I remember watching this one video. This guy was sitting there. He was in early and he was buying by the 5s or 10s. He goes, I have on paper over $1 million in Project 2020 cards. I'm thinking, are you freaking crazy? And then my other video I remember too is, remember Mike, baseball card collector, did the rant on the guy who did the chargeback on him on eBay?
Yeah, that whole thing was a crazy ride.
It was.
And that was the thing when SEI came out with his critique, I agreed with him. You know?
Yeah, I did too.
I said, oh, this is totally true. But yeah, he got a lot of backlash, and thank God that he took it, and I didn't have to express my opinion and take it. But yeah, that's the way I felt. But I was taking it on Facebook like all the time, and that was saying like, sooner or later these cards are gonna be $5 cards. People were like, you're crazy, and that came to fruition. But yeah, I mean that was a crazy ride, the Top Project 2020. If you were into that, I mean,
now, did you do any of that?
Oh yeah, I did it the whole time.
Did you save any or did you sell any? What was your, because I got into that, I would say I got into it late, but I was into it for most of like, it's funny you mentioned how it was very similar to the hobby, because how ironic is it that it was the Griffey card that is the card that popped that bubble too, man. 99,000 of that card were made.
But the funny thing about what those print runs on Project 2020, the longer you go, the longer you stayed in the group, a lot of people would start leaving when it started like kind of falling apart.
Yep.
But the longer you stayed in the group, you started hearing people like telling, oh, I bought 500 of those Ken Griffey cards. I ordered 500 cards.
Yep.
So it's not as if so. Say a print run on a card is 70,000. That doesn't mean 70,000 different people.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. There's some people that bought 1,000 of them, 500 of them. Thinking they're cornering some kind of investment thing, and it failed.
Well, I also think it was weird for me in the beginning. Okay, so like you would notice the cards were actually selling for less on eBay in a single than they were if you bought them on the site, because people were buying them, like you said, by 100. So they get them for like $5 a piece or whatever, and they were selling them for 15, which was less than the 20. Because that's how I was originally started buying. Was I was just targeting ones off eBay. I didn't buy from Topps directly at all, which is probably a mistake. Because I remember I missed some of the ones, and then it went crazy, and then I was into it. I stayed in Project 2020 most of last year. I didn't do all of them, but I did a lot. I probably have there's 400 cards total, right?
Yeah.
I think I easily have over 100. Easily have over 100
Wow.
of them. And I'm saying easily. I probably think I have close to 200. I think I've got 160 of them,
Wow,
all
that's a
different
lot.
too. Yeah, because at the time I also liked it, and I also will say too, I liked Topps more than Panini last year. I was so pissed at Panini; their prices were ridiculous. Topps, again, for as a collector, I wasn't buying multiples. I was buying the ones I liked. And here's what I was doing too. I decided in my mind I wanted to make sets of 20 where I would have 20 different artists. Right? I didn't need to have 20 different everything. I just needed 20 different artists and 20 different cards so I could put together mini sets. And I haven't sold any of those either. I've just kind of put them away in my collection. I think to me, that's something I will open up 20 or 30 years from now and laugh about with the whole pandemic and 2020. And we're going to look back at sports cards that year too. So
The whole thing with those cards is it really is the storage.
yeah.
Because if you remember Topps Project 2020 when it was getting out of hand, people were paying top dollar for just the little boxes that they came in.
Yes. Yes.
Where at first you might have just been throwing them away, and then people started paying money for them, and they're like, "Whoa!" And then they were, people were selling them. I see them on Marketplace. People are selling the boxes. People buying them.
I don't
You know,
understand why they do that.
empty boxes.
Why do they want the boxes? Because I expect it's funny. I saved all my boxes. I have all my boxes, every one of them.
But I imagine some people probably destroyed their box, and people that are buying them are asking if you have is it in
Original
the
box.
box, and they probably go out and buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who's gonna know?
It doesn't make sense. I also bought last year. I bought a lot of the Topps T206 cards. Did you ever get into those?
No, I got some from the Sports Card Investigator.
I saw
But
that.
yeah, but besides that, no, I never bought any others besides
Yeah,
that one.
I bought all those last year. I bought wave 1 through 5. I thought those would be fun, and then I started opening them up. The hits were terrible. I never got anything graded. I saved a bunch of them, but I just was very disappointed with them. I don't know. I was not happy. Like my biggest complaint was they were like the autographs were so rare, like so rare. It was ridiculous. I don't think I had a single autograph in all the boxes I opened last year. So yeah, I spent a lot of money on Topps on demand last year. That was my thing.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only. I mean, I have like 3 or 4 boxes up here of the Topps 2020. Then I got a big pile on top of my couch over here
Yeah.
of the Topps 70 right now.
Are you doing those?
Like,
See, I stayed away from those.
I don't know how to put them away.
Yeah, they're cool cards. I mean, I like the art, but again, I never got into 70 because I figured I'm gonna stay away from it because if I get into it, I'll just and there's some beautiful cards out there, some really artsy one.
Yeah.
What are the average print runs on those right now? Are those in the thousands or tens?
I have no idea because I don't keep up with that.
Okay. Yeah, I know CRT Sports Cards does a really good job. He does a show on those cards, and every now and then I'll watch just to kind of get an update on where they are. But I am, clueless when it comes out to that. I got a quick question here. We got a question from the audience, and please feel free to answer it or ask any questions from the audience. What is your favorite binder? Is that referring to the binder or the cassette? Let me ask that in 2 questions. What's your favorite binder to use, and what's your favorite binder that you have with as far as a set?
Oh, I mean,
And what sets do you still need? Are you complete through 74 now, or?
no, I just need a couple of 2000s. I'm only down like three sets for the 74 and up. So I already started working on, kind of loosely working on 70, 71, 72, and 73.
Nice.
But yeah,
I think that's
don't
an
have
awesome idea. I love that idea. Now you're just a baseball card guy, right? You don't do any other sports?
No, I have football and I have baseball. Like the last set I completed by hand probably was the 2020 Prism basketball, I think.
Okay, cool. It's just those sets are so hard to complete because they're hard to keep together. Like people break them. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to do basketball too, but then I started breaking every damn set I made.
Well, when they were selling out at the Target and the Walmart, I was still finding them all the time at Big Five and Rite Aid and Walgreens and all those places.
Yeah.
So I was able to keep buying. That was practically the only product I could buy was that Prism basketball, with the Zion.
Yeah.
And I bought enough packs to, I mean, to at least enough to make a checklist,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
asked people on YouTube, hey, this is my checklist, and I got helped out enough to complete it.
Now, do you
So,
still have that set, or what'd you do with it?
yeah, I still have it.
That's awesome, man. Now, do you sell cards too, or are you just a collector?
No, I've never sold a card.
That is amazing to me. I think that's an absolutely amazing thing. But you're not as surprising that it is. It's not abnormal. I mean, a lot of people like that who don't sell cards at all.
Yeah, it's not a thing like if you sell cards, I got anything against you, or it's like
Yeah.
everybody does what it does. I'm not telling everybody you should never sell cards or that classifies you as a certain type of collector. It's
Yeah.
I plan on selling cards in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But not right now. As of now, I just haven't. And I don't plan on to.
Cool. That's cool. Now, do you have any kids or family that collect with you?
No, I mean I got a daughter, I got a son, but they
Yeah.
never collected, so I have no plans on leaving anything to them.
That's cool. So you will eventually sell.
Yeah, that's what I think. This place where I go to, there's a place called Frankenson's, which has like a lot of tables of baseball card dealers. When I first started going there, like in 2004, when I got back into the hobby again, I'd been out of it since like '94. So I think I was out for like 10 years basically. When I came back in like 2004, I found out about that place, and there was a lot of old dealers, like just a lot of like retired old
Yeah.
people, and they would love to talk baseball cards, and sadly over the last 15 years, a lot of them have died off.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
that they were the people that they were my like kind of, I don't know how to say it without sounding dumb, but they're like my little hobby heroes. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to be like. That's
Yeah.
what I want to do. Since I already kind of knew, like, I don't think I'm gonna leave my cards to my kids because they just want to sell them. They don't want anything.
I know what you mean. They don't want to collect it. They'd sell it. Yeah.
So I was thinking, oh, well, I'll just sell my things off once I retire. That's what I'll do, because that's what a lot of these guys were. They would tell me, like, some of the guys would put their cards overpriced just so they wouldn't sell. They just wanted to be there to talk to people. You know what I mean? Get
Dude,
a
I know exactly what you mean.
out.
I know exactly what you mean. So basically what you're saying is you want, when you retire at whatever age that is, you want to spend your retirement going to card shows and setting up and selling just enough stuff that you need to for that month to pay the bills and enjoy doing what you're doing, right? It doesn't have to be selling to make money, just to freaking enjoy it. It's so true. And there's it's funny, there's like a core of those people in the dealer community who've been doing that forever. And I think if you ever follow Rich Klein, right? You know what Rich Klein is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, Rich. So I think of him. And Rich Klein's been a dealer forever. And he talks about that. In the dealer community, these guys have seen it all. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's awesome. That'd be a fun retirement. Where again, you're just doing it for the fun. I also think, dude, in the back of my head, all the sets you have, that's got to have some massive value. I mean, even though they're raw base sets, that's still great.
Probably some of them, not all of them. Like the 80s, like if you just talk about like the 80s tops.
Yep.
There's not much value in that. The whole 80s, the whole 90s, there's like really no value in there.
I know, but there's some great history there. There's some good rookies, man. So what's probably the most valuable base card you have within?
I think that let me see, where is it at? I think that Prism basketball set, which is this one?
Yeah, it's worth more than some of the baseball sets. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is I think this is worth like over 1,000.
Easily,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, with all the rookies, because you got Zion, you got Ja, you've got
it's a complete set. I completed that set by hand, and
that's a cool set too. So it's got the LeBron James with the.
I was able to complete that at all retail.
Yeah.
So it was real cheap.
That is awesome too when you think about that. Right? No hobby boxes at all, just all retail stuff.
Yeah. Big Five and Rite Aid.
Okay, what are your 3 craziest videos? Swimming pool video has to be number 1. What is the swimming pool video? Because I see my favorite video of yours is the lotion at National.
The
What's a swimming pool
well, the
video?
swimming pool video. I think I don't know if the one they're talking about because they got kicked off, but the swimming pool video that I think they're talking about, I got back in the days, man. I was like my number one PC was Staten. You know, I used to PC Staten pretty hard. And
Okay.
this dude sent me a Staten jersey, Miami Staten jersey,
Yep.
and I was just like filled to death. And I just took off all my clothes and then jumped into my pool naked. But in the video, you could not see anything. You know, I made sure that I jumped at the right angle. And, you know, the biscuits and twigs and berries were covered. You know, but I guess because of the title, someone told me, "Oh, you're gonna get banned," and I got banned from making live videos for 30 days. You know, and they got taken down.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. I love your videos. I love your comedy. I love how you just make it lighthearted. Again, like there's too much seriousness. There's too many people who are concerned and stressing over the value of their cards, and you enjoy collecting because you love it, and you make people laugh, man. That's why I love watching your channel. That's really why I love watching your channel. Let's see. What's your most valuable
Yeah,
card? His most valuable card is
my most valuable.
mantle. Someone says you have a mantle 101.
No, I don't have a one-on-one mantle at all.
Oh,
I do have a relic that's like numbered to 10, but probably my most expensive card is the 53 Mano PSA 3,
nice.
I believe it is.
That's so nice.
That one, I bought that one for like $800 like 2 or 3 years ago, but over this crazy hype, I guess it's been going for over 5,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
There
so
might
all
be
of a sudden,
a video I'd love to see you make would be your Pelican case. How to make a Pelican case. You know the video your
the
Pelican
what you
case? I would love to see you make a video on how to make the Pelican case because you had the Pelican case for the National.
oh
Dude, I think that was
yeah, that
hilarious.
was actually quite a little process. Because at first I wanted to make it a padlock. When I went to Home Depot to go buy this stuff,
Yep.
I was thinking I'm gonna buy a padlock so you
Yep.
could do the padlock and open it. But the padlock thing would have had to be like sunken into the thing, and I don't want to damage any cards inside,
Yep.
So I had to rethink it and make it flush where it doesn't affect the cards inside. So it was a little process of buying it. Like nothing, I don't think anything was originally the way I went in the store thinking that was gonna come out. But because of the way physics and stuff like that, like this is what I had to do, to make it work.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The National. How many Nationals have you gone to, by the way?
I've just been to the last two in Chicago.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you'd been to more. I'm looking forward to going to one eventually in the future. Hopefully, I'll go to Atlantic City next year. We'll see. I went to Atlantic City back in 2016, but I've never been to Chicago. So, will you come out next year to Atlantic City? I know it's a little further and a bigger pain.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see what I can do, but as of now, it's probably a big doubtful. But I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I definitely
cool,
want to go. It's very fun. I always have a great time. I have one of the greatest times ever whenever I go.
yeah. I would say you seem like a fun guy. I don't think people have a bad time when they're hanging around with you. So, I would love to see you there next year, man. It'd be great to meet in person.
Yeah, like so one of the guys I was talking to was asking me about. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, my favorite video of yours is when you take the Don Mattingly out of the ragu. And I was like, and there was like a little crowd. There was a little table there, and I was like, I go, dude, do you know what a big hassle that video was? Because my idea was I had bought finally for the first time ever, I bought my Holy Grail card at the time, which was at $84 Don Mattingly, which to me was like, that was my Holy Grail card. The card I wanted more than anything ever. And I finally got it. And I made this video where I wanted to pull it out of ragu because a lot of people were coming out with where you could pull cards out of like odd, cereal
Yes.
boxes,
Yeah. Yeah.
just oddball every products, cards out of. So I said, oh, you guys didn't never heard about it. In 1984, Ragu was giving away cards inside, right? So we thought about that. I thought about that. I said that in a live video that I was making. So people were saying, you should make that video. You should make that video. So I said, all right, I'm going to do it. So I go and I buy a bottle of Ragu, come home thinking, okay, I'm going to put my card in here and I'm going to make this video, or I'm going to pull a Don Mattingly out of the Ragu.
Yep.
But the top of the lid, the jar part, is too small. The card doesn't fit into the. So I was like, oh, damn, what am I going to do? So I go back and look for another one with the big lid. They don't have any. All the Ragus are a certain size. So, but there was other one for some kind of linguine or something, sauce. So that one had a jar that was bigger. So I had to buy that one. So I go home, empty that one out, because it's white.
Yep. Yep.
So I have to buy more Ragu sauces. I have to buy more Ragu sauces to fill that one with real red Ragu. Change the label. Take the label off the linguine and get a big giant label from the Ragu. So I had to buy another big jar of Ragu, to put the label and tape it on there. I said, so finally I was able to fit the card in there. I did my video. I opened up the lid and I just poured it all over myself. The Ragu all over myself, just showering Ragu. And the Don Mattingly comes out and I like, yeah, look, I pulled $84 Don Mattingly. So, you think, okay, that's the end of it. I said, no, but what happened is I'm covered in Ragu and I run in the shower and I just take a quick shower and the whole tub just starts flooding and it's red. Like the Ragu clogged up the bathtub. Yeah. Oh. So the bathtub is just clogged and filling up with water. I was like, oh, damn. And my wife is already mad, about my Pepino Man video.
Yes, the mess.
So I don't want her to find out. So, So I called the plumber, and they're like, we could come out tomorrow. I was like, dude, I need this fixed now, like before 5. And he's like, oh, we could do that, but for like $150. So I was like, damn, okay, I'll pay it. Because I had to do it before the wife came home. They came, unclogged it, fixed it up, and I had to,
that is hilarious.
Had to wash off all that Ragu in my backyard on the porch, So yeah, I said that video cost me a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Yes, no one would ever know. Someone else made a comment here. Tell me about your new grading company. And I got a comment here. Your patch video was great too. Did I miss the patch video? And the grading company?
Well, the grading company I have a grading company called Pig, P-I-G. And I make my own slabs. Well, the idea came because I remember a long time ago when I first got back into collecting again, and I needed to complete my 1983 top set. And the only card I was missing was the Mike Smith. So I was at a little card show and they had a Mike Smith in a slab, and and it was only like $5. So I bought it, and so I was gonna break it out to put it in the binder, but it basically just came apart like whoop. I just opened it without damaging it, took the Mike Smith out, put it, and I started making my own labels. I took out the PSA label and I would make my own labels, PIG. And that slab, I could use it over and over. So I've made like 100 PIG slabs, but it's actually been the same slab. I just keep changing
the label.
Yeah.
Picture. What's the I stand for? Pepino?
It's Pepino Infamous Grading.
Pepino Infamous Grading. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, besides sports card topics, have you thought of making videos about anything else?
Do I make videos about anything else?
What other topics beyond sports cards has Pepino Man thought of making videos about, if any?
Oh man, I do. I want to do a gardening one because I really like gardening.
I would love to.
I want to do a gardening one, and that's like for real.
I would love to see your gardening video.
And I thought about.
You should do a gardening video. Gardens and cards, right? You could talk about gardening tips
Right.
and then talk about cards and gardening. I think it'd be great. You could have Snoop Dogg as maybe a guest on your show.
Yeah. Right. I'm sure he'd love to.
I would love to see your gardening tips. I'm not kidding. You should definitely do gardening. I've seen your garden. It looks gorgeous. Do more garden videos. You're in California, right? Are you Northern California, Southern Cal? Are you in the Bay Area? Where are you?
No, I'm LA County.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're SoCal.
I
Okay.
live in
Are
Yeah.
you born and raised SoCal?
Yeah. Pretty much, I've been in Los Angeles County my whole life, pretty much
Wow.
almost.
I
I mean,
lived
I
in
was born in Mexico.
I lived in Northern California for a year, and I tell you, to me, Northern California and Southern California are totally different. I mean, completely two different countries. It's so different out there. LA is so dispersed. Like you're so dense and you're so wide. It's like it's just I don't know. It's overwhelming. Your traffic's crazy, man. Grass and wax is a
Yeah.
recommendation here.
Yeah, it is pretty bad traffic wise, and it is two different worlds. My brother lived in San Francisco for a while, so I would go up there and visit him. You know, so you could tell the difference between up north and down south.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, got some grass and wax, or here's another one: growing any hippie lettuce. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Hippie lettuce, man. Hippie lettuce. Well, listen, anything else you could tell us about Pepino Man? Anything else coming up or on your channel? And guys, if you haven't already, if you're watching this far and you haven't subscribed, you got to check out Pepino Man. Again, phenomenal videos, great power collector, funny, witty. I really enjoy. I mean, I'm telling you, Pepino Man, when I'm having a crappy day, I watch your videos. You make me smile, man. So I really appreciate that. Really mean that.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I try to keep up with too, because I think that was something I did heavily when I first got into it.
Yeah.
Like my older videos, I think I had a lot more creativity put into them, and but now I got I don't know what you want to call it, but I got kind of tired with people having that reputation of just being a funny guy, and I was like, hey man, I know cards too. I'm actually a
Yeah.
collector.
Yeah.
I kind of started sharing more as
Yeah.
opposed to just clowning around all the time.
Well, it's funny.
Like
I think I know you more as a collector.
see, like one of my most viewed video is one where I show people how to put away your binder. How to put your binder into the shelf. That's like my most watched video. I mean, I have some videos that I've put tons and tons of effort into,
And no one cares.
because one of the things is I don't have editing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't have
Yep.
editing. I only use my phone. So all I have is a pause. I'll just pause it, change outfit,
Yep.
do that little thing, pause it. So everything that I do is one take. You know what I mean? I can't redo. You can't redo a mail day video. You can't open something up and and like, oh shoot, man, I messed up and redo it. You already opened it. So most of my videos, I mean, I probably have one or two here and there, but I mean, majority of my videos they're one take.
Yeah, I appreciate
and I don't
that.
have
I applaud that.
I just use the pause.
I love that too. I think it's creative because I do know there's a lot of people, and again, I applaud those who do a lot of editing. And there's some amazing production quality people, but I'm not. I'm most people like you. Like you say, I do one takes. I'll maybe re-record a couple of times, but if it sucks bad. But I agree. I like the raw, just kind of fling it, wing it type of attitude.
Yeah, like I have to get lucky with my thumbnail. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
I'll be honest. I hate doing
me.
thumbnails. They drive me freaking crazy, and I'm probably doing it the worst. I use my phone to make the thumbnail, and then I email the thumbnail to my Yahoo account, and then I have to post it. It's just I hate doing thumbnails, but I know if you don't do them, no one pays attention to what the hell you're writing. So we got a few people who subbed your channel. That's awesome, man. Listen, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for about 45 minutes. I'm going to get this down to 30 minutes eventually, but I want to use this evening. It's a holiday weekend. Pepino Man, I'm really, really thankful to have you on. I want to have you on again. I would love to do some collaborations with you in the future, man. I love your comedy. You make me want to be funnier too, by the way. You inspire me to be a better content creator, man. I really mean that. So,
yeah. A little effort goes a long way.
Well, man, thank you guys. Thanks everybody who's been watching tonight. If you're watching later on, like I said, please check out Pepino Man, give him a sub. And again, thank you for your support. Have a great holiday weekend. Enjoy tomorrow if you're off. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Pepino Man, I'm going to kill the stream. When I do, it just kind of ends everything. So I will catch you on the other side, man. I'm going to get to bed here soon anyway. Thank you again, man. I really do appreciate you being here. And you should be getting a little package in the mail from me too. I hope you enjoyed that when you get that.
Okay.
Take care, man. See you guys later. Thanks.